All right, I don't know where to start with this next guy, to be honest with you. So, Commander Michael Fortunato, dedicated physician, distinguished veteran whose career spans from civilian and military medicine. Dr. Fortunato fell from Steubenville, Ohio, I'm probably screwed that up too, and began his academic journey at Wheeling Jesuit University, where he graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in biology. He went on to earn an MD from the Medical College of Ohio and completed a residency in family medicine, setting the stage for a diverse and impactful medical career. While Dr. Fortunato has practiced family medicine in various settings, his most fulfilling role began when he was commissioned as a lieutenant commander in the Navy Medical Corps at the age of 52. This position allowed him to fulfill a lifelong aspiration to serve his country. In 2017, September, he was then promoted to commander, reflecting his exceptional service and leadership. During his military career, Commander Fortunato served with the Marines of the MWSS 273, the MAG 31, as the senior medical officer. He later became the director of medical services at the Naval Hospitals in Beaufort, or some people call it Beaufort. From 2014 to 2017, his expertise and leadership were further demonstrated during the tenure as a senior medical officer aboard the USS Boxer, LHD-4, from 2017-2020. I'm sorry, 2020, I said that right. Where he played a critical role in operations such as Operation Freedom Sentinel and Operations Inherent Resolve. After separating from the Navy in June 2020, Mr. Fortunato continued his commitment to healthcare by joining the Vero Beach CBOC. For the civvies out there, that's the VA clinic. As a primary care physician, he currently serves at VIP Healthcare in Vero Beach, where he continues to make a positive impact on the community. I also work with Mr. Fortunato at the Veterans Council in Vero Beach. He's a true leader in our community, and I welcome him to the stage, my friend, Michael Fortunato. Oh, and let's not forget his beautiful wife, Bethany.
Thank you, Rodney. And thank you and good evening. So happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me. And Rodney, I know your lovely wife did a lot of work. So appreciate it. The work that the DAV does is so important. I see it every day. I see it as a physician. I see it when I was with the VA. And so what you do is critical for both those separating from active duty and from those afterwards. Tonight's subject of 9/11, though, still weighs heavy on this great country of ours 23 years later. On that day, I was in private practice in a little town called Wheeling, West Virginia, and my late wife was working for a news station and called in a panic about a plane that had hit one of the Twin Towers. As the information came on more and more, it became just undeniably clear that we were under attack. It became very difficult to know because we had friends and family. I had a friend who was a pilot who was in the air. And soon we came to realize the damage that had been done. When you serve as a physician in the military, you spend a great deal of time planning for mass casualties, whether that's IED events with the Marines or missile events or flight deck events on the ships. But nothing can prepare you for what happened that day. So whether you were at Ground Zero in New York or at the Pentagon in DC, the many stories of selfless sacrifice and basic humanity are still being told. The cooperation and care that people showed for each other, complete strangers that day, was really indicative of the American spirit. It was such a sucker punch that was unexpected, and so many people were still in shock. One of my current patients is very entertaining. She worked for JP Morgan Chase, and she was across from the towers when the first plane hit. And they heard it, and they went back to work because they didn't know what else to do. And it wasn't until the second plane hit that they started to evacuate, for which she still has nightmares about today. A few years after 9/11, I received a package in the mail from a young man that had been a patient of mine through grade school and high school. And I'll just call him Brian. He was a great athlete, he was a great scholar, but he had horrible asthma. And on more than one occasion, he was hospitalized, and twice we life-flighted him, thought we were gonna lose him. He did well, he got better, and as a lot of times happens, as he got older, his asthma resolved. Fast forward a little further, and he's on ground zero, 9/11, working, and has a horrible asthma attack. And he just finds an open pharmacy, walks in, and tells the guy his story, and the guy says, take what you need. No cost, no prescription, no nothing. And that was kind of just what happened that day. People showed humanity to each other. So here we are 23 years later, and the health effects of 9/11, both physical and emotional, continue to take their toll. It's estimated that over 400,000 first responders, cleanup crews, and survivors spent days and weeks breathing in air heavy with toxins from over 400 tons of crushed concrete, glass, and asbestos. Fires from within the debris pile and the collapse of 7 World Trade Center burned through the end of December 2021 and continued flare-ups into 2001 and 2002. So these fires remained burning, and combustion products and byproducts remained in lower Manhattan and parts of Brooklyn for an undetermined amount of time. The exposure to contaminated air and toxic chemicals has created a growing list of concerns for many of the men and women who were there. To date, more people have now died from 9/11 effects than died on 9/11. According to the World Trade Center Health Program, 2,974 people lost their lives that day. To date, 4,343 survivors and first responders have died in the years since. Conditions linked to the toxic exposure include both short-term and long-term. Certainly there were injuries that day, traumatic injuries and burns. But we've also had these aerodigestive diseases, asthma, GERD, sleep apnea, and many types of cancers have been linked to the toxic exposures. And that's not even talking about the mental effects of PTSD, depression, and substance abuse. In talking to my patient the other day, the one who worked for JP Morgan, she made the point that although there were efforts for the first responders to get help, most employees were ignored for a long time. She herself was early retired because of the risks the companies didn't want to take. To this day, she continues to fight for other victims, much like the DAV fights for our veterans. So as a member of the military, you often train for and experience the horror of such injuries, but what people experienced that day were normal people in a horribly abnormal situation. Many of them still suffer with PTSD, and they continue to work on their health every day. So moving forward, we can only hope that new treatments and therapies will continue to help those who've survived. But also, more importantly, we need to do what it takes so that this never happens again. We must all continue to work together for strong borders, an outstanding military, and a resurgence of the spirit that we saw that day to take care of each other. Thank you, and God bless America.